Edging toward a decentralized world. There will be a rush to develop new decentralized apps as a way to enable the decentralized world that we're edging towards. To that end, business leaders and visionaries will need to help will need to learn a new vocabulary around crypto-related frameworks. Developers need to learn how to write decentralized apps that are enabled by blockchain technology. And end users need to learn how to create or use smart contracts. For example, as depicted in the Mist browser vision, Ethereum, which is a mix of marketplace discovery, management dashboard, and creation platform all in one. We will need to see the comprehensive development environment that supports a full stack of capabilities and value add components on top of the blockchain services and consensus engines. The original Bitcoin blockchain technology that limited had limitations as we started to push its limits outside of money related services and into the software applications realm, so we shouldn't be surprised that the way forward is a world of multiple blockchains. Some of them will be working together, some competing with one another, and others just being benevolent to each other. Decentralized apps will come in different flavors, sizes, and complexity levels. So we must be prepared for that variety, and we must see beyond the Bitcoin promise to be the Internet of Money and into a blockchain's promise to become a new development environment, just as web development was the new paradigm back in 1996. But decentralized apps are not for everything, and not everything fits a decentralized app paradigm. However, there are a lot of applications that do fit the blockchain distributed paradigm, and that presents a good number of opportunities for developers, creators, and visionaries. Let's call them blockchain apps. Four emerging segments for blockchain apps. The graph and table below illustrate these classifications and will narrate them sequentially. Blockchain apps and user view. Currency, billions of users. Transfer payments, tips, crowdfunding. packet services, hundreds of thousands. Naming, identity, ownership, membership, and voting. Smart contracts, millions of users use cases, wagers, bounties, family trusts, performance proofs, escrow. Decentralized autonomous organizations, thousands. Transportation, online storage, mesh networks, healthcare. Source courtesy of William Maugeyer. Increasing creation complexity in delivery time frame. The currency related segment targets money transfers, payments, tips, or funding applications. The end user typically does goes to an exchange or uses their own wallet to conduct such transactions, benefiting from transaction cost reductions, speeds in settlements, and freedom from central intermediaries. Today, exchanges are centralized, but it's likely we'll see another generation of decentralized trusted exchanges. And although the current Bitcoin wallets today are dumb wallets, they could become smarter via an ability to launch smart contracts. The blockchain represents an interesting segment because these apps utilize the blockchain's atomic unit, which is a value store capability, but they also build on top of that will their unique off-chain services. For example, decentralized identity or decentralized ownership is a horizontal blockchain but it can be applied to any medical bills, to any other vertical segments, such as for videos, music, or photography, just to name a few. Smart contracts are small programs or scripts that run on a blockchain and govern legal or contractual terms on their own. They represent a simple form of decentralization. They will become available in a variety of application areas, such as for wages, family trusts, escrow, time stamping, proof of work delivery, etc. In essence, they are about moving certain assets or values from one owner to another based on some condition or event between people or things. Smart contracts represent an intermediate state between parties, and we will trust these smart programs to verify and take action based on the logic behind these state changes. Legal issues aside, a distributed autonomous organization is kind of incorporated on the blockchain because its governance is very dependent on the end users who are part owners, part users. And just and part nodes on that decentralized network. Key aspects of a DAO are that each user is also a worker, and by virtue of their work, they contribute to the value appreciation of the DAO via their collective and by virtue of their work they contribute to the value appreciation of the DAO via their collective participation or activity levels. Arguably, Bitcoin itself is the Uber DAO. There may be more categories, but that's how I'm seeing them today. The examples given are only a sample, regardless for each segment. There is a simple question in a user's mind. What is the benefit to me? And why should I participate? Blockchain apps providers should be focused on answering these questions clearly and via compelling arguments. End users are the fuel for an app's success. So it's important to stay close to the network effects potential of blockchain apps. Unpacking the ecosystem network effects. The concept of network effects in the Bitcoin and blockchain contexts is a misunderstood one because its inner markings are difficult to grasp accurately. Also, consumers, we are mostly users of these networks, and we think we understand them from the outside, but that's not enough to judge whether Network effects exist or not. The network effect topic often comes into play when discussing Bitcoin versus other activity in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. As observers get the illusion there are silos, as Vitalik Buterin also described, while others already declare Bitcoin's network effect supremacy based on its current currency liquidity and ongoing mining activity. Let's roll back judgment on network effects and start by understanding the various components of network effect sausage making. Union Square Ventures has a good definition of network effects in its post. Investment thesis USV. And its criteria can be summarized as the follows. Size must be large and have scale relative to the program set or target community. Inner connectivity must exist between groups or systems inside the network and a basic requirement. Engaged users. A good percentage of overall active users, 30%, comes back after often to use the service, at least weekly if not daily. User experience must be unique, original, and enable some new value creation while users are on the service. Network effects. The value of the service increases for each user as others use it or join it, and that value is propagated on the very network that was created. Defensibility. Barriers to entry are gradually erected and strengthened by virtue of growing the service while it gets more valuable each new user, also resulting in high switching costs. Monetization. As the network matures, one of or several atomic value units emerge and become the basis for sustainable economic activity. In order to properly evaluate the network effect puzzle, we need to look at the ecosystem along three key dimensions. First, network effects criteria. Second, ecosystem components. And third, players and actors. Buterin wrote a long post titled On Bitcoin Maximalism and Currency and Platform Network Effects, where he eloquently dived into the numerous factors surrounding network effect topic. I agree with the substance of that article, though I am proposing a more angular inspection of network effect factors as depicted above. The second dimension relates to the targeted ecosystem components, and I see them comprised of currency liquidity, including stability and low volatility, consensus engine, including the underlying protocols that govern it or support it, e.g., mining. Blockchain platform services, including the software tools and external linkage capabilities, and user applications, including wallets, special browsers, smart contracts, baked services, or being part of DAO. The third dimension includes the various players and actors, whether they are based on the Bitcoin blockchain or another one, the Bitcoin currency or another one, or fully independent platform. We could place all of these in a matrix, as depicted below. And if you value your favorite players and actors inside each interesting box, you will find there are a few holes, plenty of opportunities for improvements, and a lot of works in progress. But wait, there is more to the making of the network effect. You also need to count on number of apps or services, number of users on these apps, market capitalizations, number of developers, security, scalability, reliability, marketing. Even if you evaluate Bitcoin proper because it has revealed itself the most so far, you will find that it is ahead as a liquid cryptocurrency, though with an undesirable volatility, has a stable consensus process, and has a developing blockchain platform environment, but its future evolution may face a few blind spots pertaining to its scalability, and it still lacks a large number of engaged active users that depend on it on a daily basis.